Every league completed across Europe, it's now time to look at Rangers' Champions League path in the 2025-26 campaign. Welcome back to Fog Football. Recently brought you the video about Celtic and what's going on for them in the playoff round. They will be seeded. Will Rangers be seeded in the playoff round? We'll get to that in a wee bit. But in terms of the second qualifying round, let's move on. So, of course, Champions League, you've got your prelim, your first qualifying round. Here's some of the teams that are in the first qualifying round, of course. Seeded, unseeded. But moving in to the second qualifying round, we've got the champions, seeded, unseeded. But we're heading to the league path, of course, which consists of 6 teams. 3 seeded teams, 3 unseeded teams. We have got Rangers, Red Bull Salzburg, and Victoria Pleasant. On the seeded side, unseeded side, Panathinaikos, Servette, and Brann. Note the 6 teams. Would I say that Rangers are the best? I mean, I'll be fair. I think it's pretty close with us and Salzburg. But I would say we're at worst second, at best first. Well, I mean, obviously at best first, you know. We're not going to go to Zero the Hero pish. But I look at the unseeded. We've beat Servette in recent years. Brann, St Mirren took Brann pretty close, didn't they, last year? And I look at Panathinaikos, well, it's not like the Greek league is all that good. I would fancy us against any of these 3 teams. And I think Rangers have really got to step up to task in this pre-season. You know, the fact that it's starting a couple of weeks earlier due to the being in the second qualifying round, there is really no excuses. Get the takeover in, get the manager in, and get the players in, and get them fired up for the pre-season. It has to go down that way. There's no two ways about it. I do not want excuses fired in after we go out. I want us prepared for it and ready to rock and roll, because it's a lot of money left on the table. You know, the amount of confidence that we would have as fans if you can secure Champions League football and the riches that come with it going in to the next season or this season. We're kind of in that limbo period between calling it this season and next season, but you know what I mean. With Gio, we got in and they didn't back him, and I get it. Transfer window, there's not a lot of days left after you qualify for the Champions League, but you know what? It's no excuse. You can go out and sign. I mean, we did make one signing, right? When Gio got us into the Champions League. That's unacceptable, well, not in my opinion. I think that's factual. That is unacceptable. It's not even like we went out and signed like 2 guys on loan. We literally signed nobody for Gio. So, yeah, it's got to be done. And, you know, the 49ers, a big reason of why they're taking over Rangers, I believe, is due to European football. Now, obviously, I'm not going to put my nose up at the, you know, Europa League or the Conference League, because end of the day, it's always good to fall back on something. But it's funny I said that. Rangers actually have no fallback guaranteed. If Rangers go out in the second qualifying round, it's into the third round of the Europa League. If we go out the third round of the Europa League, it's in to the Conference League playoff. There is a possibility, and I'll admit it's minute, that Rangers might not be playing any European football next season. How crazy would that be? You know what I mean? Aberdeen are guaranteed league stage football, but Rangers aren't. You couldn't make it up, but I think the good news is I fully expect us to get past the second qualifying round, and if we do get past the second qualifying round, that means we're guaranteed Conference League at minimum. Hell, it might mean we're guaranteed Europa League. It's still a bit shady about what you're guaranteed. We'll know more going into these games next season. It'll get talked about a wee bit more. I mean, a lot of people, this will be their first time even seeing what possible ties are awaiting Rangers. But right, let's look at the 3 teams. I mean, who do I want to avoid? I'm honestly not that bothered. Brann are probably the weakest. We've beat Servette in recent years, and Panathinaikos over 2 legs, I'm going to have to say it would be easy enough. It's got to be. There's none of this, oh, we're at Hampden for the first 2 months of the season. No, we're straight in at Ibrox with no excuses. So for me, give me whoever, but I would rather Brann out of the 3 teams. Moving in to the third qualifying round. So we would be seeded in the third qualifying round as well, which means we will be on the seeded side alongside Benfica, Club Brugge, and Feyenoord. Into the unseeded path, it would be the winner of the tie involving Red Bull Salzburg, Fenerbahce, winner of the Timefall, Victoria Pleasant and Nice. So to sum it up, obviously we're going to get one of the three of the unseeded in the second qualifying round, which means the other two, one will go to Salzburg and one will go to Victoria Pleasant. So there's a real chance in the third qualifying round you could be taking on Panathinaikos, Servette or Brann anyway, but let's just say theoretically the best teams go through. Salzburg, Fenerbahce, Victoria Pleasant, Nice. Go back to last season. We beat Fenerbahce in Fenerbahce, in Istanbul, right? Then we did lose at Ibrox, but we still went through. We beat Nice 4-1 quite easily. Victoria Pleasant, I wouldn't be worried about. And like I said, I think it's pretty close to us in Salzburg, but I would hopefully expect us to get the job done. But then the problem is the fourth qualifying round, the playoff round. Yeah, so obviously we've already brought you about the whole thing about Celtic being seeded. They will take on, there are a lot of possibilities Celtic could take on, but as for us, it looks like it's literally going to be the tie, the winner of Benfica Club Bruges. So, it could be Benfica against Brann. Brann could win, but realistically, we'll go with the best teams again. I think a playoff round against Benfica Club Bruges, it's doable. It's not impossible. We've seen in recent years that we have gave Benfica good games. The 3 each under Gerrard, the 2 each a couple of seasons ago. We did lose 1-0 at Ibrox, and then the 2 each game at Ibrox as well. We can definitely give it to Benfica. As for Club Bruges, tough team. I'm not going to sit here and say it'll be easy. Obviously, Union Saint-Gilloise won the Belgian league, which has shafted us here. It meant we would have been... it means we would have been seeded for the playoff round, but again, if you're seeded for the playoff round, you could have been taken on Feyenoord or any other team. The reality is for Rangers, we've got to forget about who we could take on. There's no point worrying about who we're going to take on at the end of August or who we're going to take on the 23rd of July in the second qualifying round. See, when we return for pre-season training, we have got to have a team ready and equipped to deal with the trials and tribulations of the Champions League qualifiers to get us ready for next season, man. No excuses, and we need to be ready to rock and roll because it's crucial to the club. And it's not just Rangers, man. Every club in Scotland's got to do it, whether it's Celtic, Aberdeen, ourselves, Dundee United or Hibs. Obviously, we Aberdeen and Celtic, it's a wee bit different because their games are a wee bit later, but you need to be best equipped for these games. You seen last season with Celtic, they didn't sign Engels and Adea and guys like that till late on. Players need to be in the door for these games because, make no mistake about it, these qualifiers, they're as big as it gets until September when the first Old Firm comes around, and then if you look past that, realistically, until you get to semi-finals and the final of the League Cup, in my personal opinion. So it doesn't get any bigger than these qualifiers, folks, and we need to get ready, and that goes for every team. Coefficient's on its knees, and we all need to work together to get that coefficient cup because we know how much we love it all. Anyway, leave your thoughts down below. If I was to make a prediction, I think Rangers will get to the playoff round, and then I think sadly we'll go out, but here, prove me wrong.